got my very first.
African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I cannot deny African women, they strong. She's on fire. She's a blessing for my boo. A cultural woman. She is a loyal woman. A loving and caring mother. Welcome, Mama Africa. She did for Zambia. She did for Zimbabwe. She did for Senegal. Mama Africa. Black is beautiful. So beautiful. So adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. If you want to share a video for me. What a beauty to behold. African woman. Confident woman. A special woman. Beautiful woman. I'm loving her vibing. Beautiful woman. She is enticing. She is enticing. Strong African woman. She is a full package. Very special woman. A special kind of body with a heaven's package. Liberia, Rwanda, Nigeria, Uganda, Africa, Mama Africa, Tanzania, Madagascar, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Namibia. We not forget Algeria, Ghana, Somalia, Angola. Black is beautiful, so beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, black is beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman.
Jerry Stops mixes.
All right. You guys are welcome to Split Talk, the Nine Generation. I'll play our jingle.
Human rights abuses, tell it to the nation. Rape and molestation, tell it to us all. Split talk, split talk, split talk, tell it to us all. Generate equality, tell it to the world. Split talk, split talk, split talk. The now generation.
Okay, guys, welcome to Split Talk, the Nine Generation. This platform is built for Lawani women. We come here and we talk about, real life issues, social issues, anything that we're supposed to talk about, we talk about it. And we bring it to you. We all, communicate. When you communicate with us means that you're going to make your comment. And then sometimes we'll read a comment and we talk about stuff that the questions that you have and stuff like that. I see Solo Madikoli. Thank you for making a comment, Solo. Welcome to the Solo Mali. Welcome to the show. So that's what the platform is here for. Today, we're going to be talking about perception of the family. It means between the husband and wife. Fury can come in, introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Fury Ade, the Vice President for Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. I'm glad to be on this evening. Welcome to our guests. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for coming on and supporting us as always. We appreciate your viewership and we appreciate your honest opinions and honest feedbacks on the topics that we speak about. Thank you again.
Okay, that was my co-host, Mrs. Vera Addy. Vera, welcome to the show. I thank you for coming because I know you were all busy yesterday. I was worried, but I know you would deliver. One thing I know about you, so I said, you know what? I know if God will come on, I will allow her to sleep, and then I will prepare everything, and then she will come on. So I know you well rested, you prepare for the show today.
Yeah.
We also like to welcome our audience, and we say thank you for watching. Today we're gonna just go straight into the topic: the husband and wife perception of the family, because we've been watching social media lately, and Vera myself, I've been having a lot of conversation on the different shows that are going on. Our little sister, Seiji Suku Christina, she brought up about some incident that took place in the DMV area, Virginia, and she was talking about, marriage and how people cheating on their spouses and stuff. So we wanted to come on, just to be in correspondence so the topic cannot die, because the story we heard, say she got her show, she got a little gossip show going on, but her show that Jesus, I always tell her, she my little daughter, I say your show that Jesus, because every time say she come out with a story, at the end of the day, the story is true. Except once or twice, maybe a chemo, it wasn't true, and she will come back and say, I apologize because I never got the story straight. But most of the time, 97% of the time, Seji's story she bring to the table, it means that it's been given to her by reliable sources, and what she said is true. And so when we listen to that show, she was talking about a marriage that we all admire in the community, and about going quiet marriage. We decided that we were going to come up with a show to talk about the domestic abuse side of the whole thing, and how people are supposed to be together as a couple. Because most time our people don't understand these things, and they come out the high looking. She said the high looking. Yeah, her show name is the high looking, and we follow her most of the time. Her show where she come up with that true story, because it comes from reliable sources, and we have to talk on the domestic abuse aspect of the show. And we here for her, and we encourage, although we are women, and we talk on a different side of life, but what she's saying too is helping to save our community, so we got her back. A story too, you scare her to quote would be the quote with her. Photo 4 would be there to help her with the process, because while most of the stories she brings 97% of the time is true, the time that is not true, the 3%, if she made a mistake, she will come by and apologize, say it was a mistake. And that's why we respect her show. So we're moving forward. The husband and wife perception of a family life. Marriage rate in the United States and all over the world right now is at stake. The marriage is declining by the meaning. It's declining according to data. The National Center Health or Statistics, it shows that the marriage now it decreased from 6.9 to 6.1. Marriages per 1,000 people from 2017 to 2019 has decreased. But don't get it wrong, people still love marriage. The family life is still beautiful, but just that the marriage life has decreased because of the infidelity, the abuse, the lack of trust, the lack of empathy and honesty and humor. All those things people are taking out of marriage. The first few months you meet a girl, everything sweet. You hear? Yeah, thank you for watching, Seji. The first time you meet with a woman, everything sweet. You're carrying on your life and everything. And then before you look, after the honeymoon stage of the marriage is gone, the love is still there. But people tend to start to do every other thing. So we want to break it down to you today. We want to come in how to help you people to keep your marriage going with all the disrespect and the cheating, and some people getting depression. Some people are going through all kinds of things. People even dying nowadays. I heard they said 2 girls died in Liberia. I think the beginning part of last year, you myself were discussing that the woman was depressed until she passed away because of the way the men treated her after they stayed together for so many years. And then somebody would just come and jump into the marriage. And some people cannot take it. They can't take it, then they get depressed, and before you look, they develop some sickness, and before you look, they die. While there are many potential reasons for the people still wanting to be married, there are also so many potential reasons why most people now just want to be single, because it's just too heartbreaking to trust somebody and give them your entire life, and you've been with them for all these years. Give them the story said you were talking concerning Nima Choir and his wife, Gwendolyn Choir. Gwendolyn, I know Gwendolyn, she's a friend of mine. Gwendolyn and me went to demonstration school together. We end up in BW Harris School together. So I know her personally. She's a friend. I never even knew she was going through these things until I heard it on social media. I had to contact her to run to her and say, Gwendolyn, but what is this I'm hearing? Because every time I meet Gwendolyn and Nima somewhere, I admire the couple a lot. I admire them. I really respected the man because I felt that, for Gwendolyn to have a disability and she moving around, with that disability, and she married to this man since she was 22 years, so she met this man because I know her. So I know. And since she said it on her show, it was true. And she met this man and were able to, through her instrumentation, he came to the States and they've been together. They have a grown child together. And for me to hear this thing on social media that these things are going on, that Gwendolyn is suffering, I never even knew my friend was suffering. She never called me, never contacted me to let me know that these things were going on until I contacted her. I was very disturbed, and then Vera myself went into caucus and said we have to talk about the perception of the marriage life, of the family life, and how it's supposed to be like. We want to bring this to our community so we can teach them, because most time our people, they don't know. But before we came here, we went and did our research. So we did our research, we own it. So we are about to speak about this. So the long-lasting marriage is becoming more and more rare. People who be in long-lasting marriage, the time we used to admire. I was just telling my husband, we went out and I saw the two old people. Oh, they were holding hands together. They sat down somewhere. After the men noticed the wife was tired, they sat down. I said, oh my God, but look at the people. I said, I really admire the men here. Well, look at how old they are. They've been together, I know, for so many years. But I said, yes, but nowadays it's rare in our community, in our society, especially among Black people. You will see the women you will hire where they will be together forever since high school. Some of them have problems, yeah, but I mean, majority of the time, when you look at statistics, it shows that the white people keep family life going more than the Black people will. And just because of lack of respect and commitment and love, that's why God, what marriages and breaking apart, we destroying our children's lives. Because when you break up your marriage, it's not only affecting you, it's affecting the kids that you brought up, even the ones that you met the woman with. Even if the woman had a kid before you met her, because you were in that woman's life and that child life for maybe 10, 12 years, you have changed the dynamic of the lifestyle after you walk away. That child is like your child, and you take away that from them, and you being selfish. So that's what we're going to be discussing all of these today, and different other things. So you can make your comment with reader. I see Cynthia writing a long comment. She said, I hear people say all men cheat, like it's okay for them to cheat. But all men do not cheat. The decent men, they don't cheat. So we'll come to that, because they got some men in our community that be married and they can stand their ground with their marriages. We're not saying that men will not go out there. People can be attracted to people. It's a normal thing. You will go out there. They got many fishes in the sea. So you will go out there. You will meet a woman because you like your wife kind of look. Maybe you will meet a woman looking like your wife. She look pretty to you. You will admire her. You can see her and admire her, but does that mean that if you cannot control yourself when you around that kind of environment and you still got to go to get in a relationship with that person? That's when the problem is, that then you are not in a committed relationship with your wife. And that's the problem. Then you go and cheat. But nobody here perfect. You will go or you will see a man looking hot and say, damn, that man look very hot. Doesn't mean that you want him. You admire him at the moment you move on, because you know you have a man whom that you are committed to that man. You have a woman that you committed to. So you can see them and say, oh, the other person look good. Doesn't mean that you have to go strike a conversation now to start trying to find a way to have sex. So, and that's the thing we're going to be talking about. There are no size fit for all magic. There are no magic formula for any particular marriage. To say, okay, they will live happily after. Yeah, the formula, yeah, we give you the formula, yeah. Say, oh, go by this, you will live happily after. No, but there are just some things then that you need to do according to your marriage, how it suits your family, how it suits you to be committed to that person for the rest of your life, because you made vows. You made vows for better and for worse. You can't take the person's life for almost 17 to 25 years. You've been with that person, and then all of a sudden now you don't want them. Then you see another woman. After the girl had given her life to you, she turned almost 50, 55 years old. Then you see somebody else looking pleasant, and then you leave the woman and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to live my life. I tire. So you took away all her youth, and now you tire, and you think God will bless you. God will not bless you. And that's what we came to talk about yesterday, because from the story we heard on the high looking, and we know that story is true because we verify it. Yeah. So we had to come here and teach our people now. Stay in your relationship. I don't even use the word. Right, you need to come in, because I don't want to go too deep. Because I will use something, because I'm very, very annoyed for what I'm hearing. I am very, very annoyed for my friend Gwen Quiet to be treated the way she's being treated. You know, that other Liberian women who in the age range of Gwen Quiet, Gwen turn 50. And you too, you make some of y'all even older than Gwen, for y'all to take over the woman and husband and destroy her home. And y'all think it's okay? That is totally wrong. That is totally wrong. It's a sad story. It is a sad story. So we come and teach you how to stay in your own relationship, because we heard the other woman even were married. And she still left her husband to go sleep with somebody else's husband. Why did you get married then? Why? To admire somebody's husband that you will sleep with him? That is very unfair. If you want to come, you can come in before I start to tell you the key element for a long-term and healthy relationship. I will get in 3 key elements for a long-term and healthy relationship. We'll go into that. So come on, dear.
Listening to everything that you just explained, I extracted 3 words from what you just said, and one is admiration, the other one is respect, and the other one is self-control. Those are the 3 words that I just extracted from what you just explained. And the problem we have these days with some men, because just like you said, it's not all men that messed up in a marriage. It's not all men that will step out of their marriage, even if they see someone out there and admire them. It doesn't give them the opportunity for them to step out. It doesn't mean that they should step out. But most men these days that are in marriages, and we're speaking specifically to our community, we found out that in our Liberian community, some men, they don't have no respect for their wives in a relationship. They have no self-control. And they go out there to see women. You already have an established home. You are a man. You already have an established home. You just didn't establish the home. Your home has been grounded. Your home is supposed to have been grounded by now. Because if you've been in a relationship or in a marriage for 10 years, it means that that marriage should be grounded. But we are finding that these numbers of years don't mean nothing to people in marriages anymore. The sacrifices, the blood, tears, and sweat that have been poured into the marriages, it's not being respected. It's not even being appreciated anymore. And I remember a couple of months back, we just talked about the Magdala Cooper story, where she encouraged her friend to walk away from her marriage just for her to end up marrying the friend who she had encouraged husband. We talk about it on the social media here. And some women, they just have bad attitude. I don't know, how can you be in your own marriage? You go and forfeit your own marriage. You say to yourself, you don't want your own marriage. And you step into another woman's marriage and decide to take over her husband. Yeah. Why would you do stuff like that? It is just totally unacceptable. And we shouldn't take these things. I know it was on Daha is looking, but these are serious matters that she's bringing to the forefront. But people don't want to take her matters or the issues that Sechi is bringing to the forefront. They don't want to take it seriously because they feel that her show is most like a gossip show or something. So they just talk about it, they laugh and move on. But this particular action, this particular behavior is destroying a lot of homes in our community, especially in America, because I've heard so many other stories of people who been in the home and people step in and destroy the home, and in the end, they step in the home and destroy it, and then in the end, the men end up going apart. So what were the purpose of them stepping in the home? And the men themselves, I don't understand. You saw something in your wife in the beginning that will cause you to marry her. It was something about her. You marry her, you been with one. Why you are full grown man in your 50 something, and you still don't have self-control. You still won't go out there and be looking at other people and following other people's wives. The men themselves, they follow their friends, their wives. The women follow their friends, their husband. I mean, it's a sick behavior in our setting, in our community. You know.
Yes, I heard it say, he said, oh, before you continue, he said, oh, somebody said that he said, oh, I'm ashamed or something like that. And I said, but how you gonna be ashamed when you took your penis out of your household to go take it to somebody and you took your penis in another man's household? You're not supposed to, because when you take your penis out of your pants and go put it in another man's household, you're not supposed to be ashamed because then your penis become community penis. So therefore, people will be discussing your penis. That's it, man. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, maybe in her part of life, because in Liberia, when people who just never used to be settled and sit down, they used to call them open to policy. Maybe for him, his whole life is open to policy. And open to policy, he has no restriction to his open to policy. I don't understand. You met a woman. And it's not for, I mean, we're talking specifically about his story right now, but with all the other men in out there who do these things. And then and then the thing about it, you who the woman, you who the wife they got, they won't put in divorce, so they all over the place, but they can't leave. If you're not satisfied in your home, if you're not happy in your home, if you are falling in love out of love with the person who you marry, whether that was 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, you are falling out of love, the right thing to do is to sit the person down and say, you know what, we can no longer move forward. I have grown away from you. I want to step out. I want to be a single man now. I want to be out there just having a fun time with every woman that I see out there. That's what I want to do. But at least get the opportunity to the person who you married, give them that opportunity, sit them down, you have a conversation about it, and you go apart amicably. Then you can go ahead and be your community property or nationwide property. Then you can go all around, nobody will hold you responsible. But to have a wife who has a disability, when you met her, she did not have a disability. When you met her, she was not as old as she is now. When you met her, she was a beautiful woman. She still is a beautiful woman. She was a beautiful woman, strong woman, educated woman. You saw everything good in her. Down along the way, she developed a disability that she did not bring upon herself. So why in her disability you choose to treat her the way? I don't have no respect for those kind of people there, because if you can treat somebody in a state of being disabled, I mean partial disability, because she's not totally disabled, and I would say that we are saying that way because we are Christians, and because when you call God, there's no disability that God can see you through. So I would say it like that, because the woman, I saw her picture. I don't know her before. I found out that I know her brother, but I don't know her personally before. I saw her picture, like I saw the picture under how it looking, and she's there. She has this big old smile, beautiful woman. You decide to step on. Let me tell you, this is a minute. This is 1 minute. Decide to step out of a relationship. They put in who they step away, man. When you look at the people, it made you question. You say, okay, but what happened to me? What's going on here? Because look at what you step out to. What you step out to, not even a step up. Last week we talked about leveling up. Your worth is up there. You decide to step up and you step down. I know it's a serious matter in our community, and we have to address it, because like you said, a lot of women are going through this silently. They are dying silently in the home from depression. They are going through, some of them are on medication. On the very social media we talk about, I told you about our story, and you and I, we have a mutual friend, Grace and I, we have a mutual friend that we went to school with, who is in serious depression, has been in depression for years for the same behavior. The same behavior. And a man, the woman who he stepped out with and sent her into depression, he is still sleeping with the woman to taste it. Why you can't divorce? You can't divorce the person, but you sit down there. That's intentionally trying to kill somebody. I don't know. Some of these things we need to deeper, because some of these men are not going to put insurance on the women, and they're waiting for them to die, man, so they can take the insurance, and then their girlfriend then go out and live long. So these things, women who are in this situation, take your medication and level up and find out, make sure your insurance and everything on the tax. Make sure go investigate. You got no kind of special insurance on you and stuff there. You got insurance only in the need. You better switch it, because they're just waiting for you to die, so then the girlfriend then can go have fun with your money. Or somebody not even bring a girlfriend to your funeral, because it is, man, the story that I heard, that the kid mother died and he brought his girlfriend to cater her mother and repast. That kind of man, I don't trust him, sister. I don't know about you, but I don't trust him.
I don't even trust him either, bro, because that you even said no now, that if the man is staying in the house with the woman, then you start to question, but why he's staying in the house with the woman?
Exactly.
You can bring your girlfriend to come and cater to your mother-in-law funeral, knowing your wife going through grieving and her mother had just died. And you sit there and you bring your girlfriend to cater to the girl man funeral, and you're having your fun time behind the girl back, and she just there innocently looking like a fool. That one alone, I mean, the deceit and the disloyalty, it just so grieving until when you think about it. I don't understand. I don't know how Gwen doing. I need to call her again to find out how she's doing, because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then they say, oh, they come and can't carry Sechi to court. We dare you to carry Sechi to court.
But what is Sechi do but to bring a story to light? What did she do? Because if for you to take somebody to court, you must be disputing what she's saying. And if what she's saying, she has evidence to back, then I take her to court. Sechi, you cannot be afraid of. When you get to the court, then we'll see. You know, in this country, the only thing, this is not Liberia. America is a country of law and order. If you take somebody to court, they're going to ask you on what basis are you bringing them to court. And you can come with your own evidence, and she got to come with your evidence, and the court will take it from there. So there's nothing.
Take her to court, we'll find out. We're not going to take her to court. The lawsuit will put behind her. We'll take her to court.
But again, when taking to court, because all those pictures I saw that he took with those multiple women who are not his sisters, they are not his cousins, they are not his nieces or relatives, he will have to explain what those pictures mean. What it means. I understand sometimes people take pictures with people, but do you know the person who bringing the evidence, who bringing the matter to the front? Do you know what else they have before you taking them to court? If I were them, I would just back up, because they say
what kind of sometimes people can take pictures with people? That thing. Look, let me tell you something. No pictures. The woman all walking, the woman horseman. What kind of picture you go tell you all other than men? You walking the man, putting your hand around his neck, holding your waist, you holding your backside. How you would be brave enough to take picture with somebody husband like that? You don't have no respect for yourself then. You don't have respect for yourself then.
The man got respect for himself, and then say he got respect for himself. So if you take somebody to court, you got to explain the reason why. You when they're looking at all the evidence, you gotta say, okay, he holding your butt, he grab your waist and stuff like that. Who is he to you? Why will you do something? Nothing ain't going no man, nothing that you're muffed up, sister. They ain't going nowhere. You know, some people like to front. They feel that because she's, you know, she's a bold person and she brings things to a show, so they think that they can threaten her, but nobody can threaten anybody in the country, man. Every country is a country of law and order. You won't go to court, you go to court. Everybody got a ratio, they put it on, they go to court, period.
Now I said, she said, she said, whatever I said on my show was the truth and nothing but the truth. I have no reason to lie. I won't give fame on a profit for breaking somebody else down. Exactly. But since you had to bring that thing here to light because Gwen is suffering, I'm happy that you put that thing out to light, because if you never put it out, we're not going to know that Gwen was going through that kind of thing. The girl is suffering. You hear? Women definitely taking what the girl husband, they're passing around here. They don't want to settle down. All these old women in their 50s, yeah, they don't want to settle down. They just want to be passing around here, just sleeping with people's husband all over the place. That's why for me, my husband not be holding nobody, taking no picture. I don't know you. Once you friended with me, you can't be friend with my husband. Even me, you friended with me, you got to have permission to take my husband.
I don't say that just because
a lot of nonsense to happen.
Just because you're friends with somebody don't give you the right to. Just because you're friends with somebody don't give you the right to just go stand up and start taking all kind of picture with their husband or their wife. No.
Yeah, especially when a man married. What kind of disrespect is that? But if you know what, we can sit down here and talk about. I can't get any information now. How the marriage supposed to work? How it's supposed to look like? How it's supposed to work, and things then that they can avoid. Yeah, there are some key elements to long-term and healthy relationship and marriage and partnership. One of it is commitment. When you stay in front of that altar, you have seen all the women there. Some of y'all not loved. Some of y'all can come 40 girls then on your hair, your toe then. You will start counting your ear hair and all. Your girlfriend then will not finish. You're feeling loving all over. You saw the one woman, you say, okay, I want to marry the woman, I will commit to her. Then you commit to the woman. Commitment is more than just wanting to stay together with somebody for a long time. Oh yeah, I will stay with her for long. It is the act of choosing a partner for life, promising the person that through ups and downs, me and you will be together. I don't care whether you're sick, I don't care whether today they say you're mud single. I will carry you to the dentist for them to wash in the mud so I can be able to kiss you again, but I will bear it because I have committed to you and we in it here to the end. That what commitment is about. You laughing, bro. Now when as soon as the woman start getting bad, like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go look outside for somebody or the men start getting bad because most of the time we say woman, because most of the time the women they are suffering through these things. The women that are suffering through these things, most of the time, we get a lot of stuff here coming to us. And sometimes now coming start directing people to go to CG. Because we don't do the G's. CG will bring the G's, then we'll talk about it on a domestic abuse. Gwen has been abused.
Yeah.
She has been domestically abused. As women, we need to come together and put our hands around her because she's being abused. Other court said not physically, they're not beating on her, but she's being abused emotionally. She's going through a lot of stress. It's not easy for you to be with a man for 27 years and he just decided that he don't want you anymore. Then he got women that coming in and order your house. Most of the women there, he's sleeping with them. It's not an easy thing. So commitment, you gotta wholeheartedly be invested into making a relationship to last. Casting away doubts and just so small thing happen between you. Oh yeah, me, I know what I want to be in a relationship. No, when you commit, when you stand in front of that altar, you're just running to go get married. Every 5 seconds, you're running to go get married. When you stand in front of that altar, then you have to be committed to it and say, I will do this. Except you're being abused in a relationship, you have the right to say, you know what, sir or madam, it's time for me to go. Then you go and file divorce. Then you divorce the person and move on with your life. You cannot be in a relationship, you legally married to the person, then you sleeping all over the place, your penis become community penis. Soon as they say, bam, the other guy say, yeah, he got gray hair right in the middle. They know how to describe a penis from beginning to end, from the under bed of the bags to the upper part of the bags. You're not bad, they're all over the place. They're just talking now. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, then everybody know how to describe it. Nobody, so you pass it, other girl already naked you in her eye because she finished sleeping with you. No, the commitment means that only your wife and you supposed to see each other after that. All the other people who saw you, we tell them, saw your naked there. You say, okay, thank you. Yeah, it was not me and you met, but we couldn't make it. But this is my wife now. But no, our people don't know how to do that. Women have become a stepping stone for them. They just can keep you for 25 years. Now you're looking all in front of them. Then they go tell another woman now, and then you just there now. Then the women they're throwing hints on you. Oh, what the play? Oh, yeah, she get a ring, but the men are beating my heart. And the thing is good. And I see people on Facebook telling people, yeah, you can do it on somebody's husband. You can do it. That's why most times in the country, people get shot for this kind of thing. And when they go to court, the people just let the person go free because the person can be, like trauma. As soon as the person see you and your husband, the first thing, especially when they see you doing something you're not supposed to be doing, they can snap. People snap all the time, and anything can happen. Anything can happen. So when you committed, you gotta keep your commitment. Marriage is commitment, my people. Instead of temporary thing, oh yeah, the woman made me feel today, so I'm going wrong outside to go look for marriage so I can have sex with her. No. Commitment meanwhile the woman made you feel sad, you dead. You will handle your business later. Sometimes you can just, you can cool off, go outside center and cool off and come back in. You have to talk it because you're committed to one another. You're made vows. Even if you stay in a relationship for 5, 6 years, you married a woman, that common law marriage, you cannot treat her that way. You just cannot. So that the committed part to it. Then the second part to a healthy relationship is love. Why most couples start off their relationship being in love, sustaining the feeling to each other takes effort, sacrifice, and generosity. You can start a relationship with love. 27 years or 20 years or 15 years, 10 years, 5 years is no small time. That time. So certain time you will get out of that feeling sometimes. Maybe you will see the person, maybe they piss you off, you mad with them. That doesn't mean you should keep your community penis also to be passing around with all the women that got your wife number. No. You will think about the love you have for her. The first time you met her, you start thinking, well, you're so generous to her, the love will even grow. You got humor in your relationship. You got empathy. Although she made me vex, but I'm my wife. I got empathy towards her, so I can't do this. I cannot do this. I will have to hold myself. We're talking because in fact, you clean that you the head of the home, so you're supposed to be able to talk it. Go to the woman, or maybe she come to you and you're sitting there and talking. But when you have love in your heart, true love means putting your partner first and giving yourself without expecting anything in return. You putting the woman first or you putting the man first, and you're not expecting anything. You do your part, the person do their part. The love can be sweet. I'm putting you first, you putting me first. I ain't expecting anything out of you, you ain't expecting anything out of me. But not for me to come and change your entire life to say, oh yeah, the time I want to be in love now, we'll be in love. The day I ready to be in love now, then the woman will automatically not be in love. No, we're being in love, oh. We're being in love because you made a commitment. That's what marriage and long-term relationship is about. Right? Before I come in with the last one.
Yeah, and exactly what you're saying is what it is. You can, when you decide to go into a marriage, you're not going in temporarily. You're going in for life, and you're going in for better or for worse. You still to death do your part. Some people ain't even want to wait till death do them part of the vow that they made. They just destroy their marriages in the middle, and they haven't even gone far. And you talk about the men and leaving their wives to go for other people because their wives look old in their eyes, Grace. Half the time, their wives are not old and they don't look old, but the men are just promiscuous. Some of them is just their nature. They can't help it because they're just all over the place. They cannot help themselves. And some of them, when you talk to them, they will actually look you in the eye and tell you, say they love their wives. It's like, how do you love your wife and you all over the place? They will tell you, say, oh yes, I love my wife. So in all kind of statement, and when people make it to you, it's confusing. So, and just like you said, it's a commitment thing. If you don't want to be committed anymore, like I said before, then cut your losses and move on. But you cannot still be with the person, still be claiming that you love the person, but at the same time, you all over the world. You are all over the world. Every woman out there can describe you. By the time you walk into a room, everybody start grunting in the throat. Look at that one there. That husband there, she can say, I mean, what kind of disgraceful attitude. The women, they can't even go out with their husbands anymore and be proud of the moment, proud of their marriage, and proud of the relationship they have, because everybody out there know them. Everything about them has been exposed, and for some reason, and sometimes it happen in the cases with me too, they don't care, because even though the men then they cheating on their wives, these women too, they have husbands and cheating on their husbands. So I don't know, where is the pride? Where is the pride in your marriage? Why are you still even in your marriage? You need
to do what Sechi said. Sechi said the woman left the story up there. In fact, I called Gwen. I talked to her. So what Sechi said was true. The woman, her husband divorced her because of choir, because of human choir. Divorced her. Then she divorced her. Then she holding the woman on her husband. That she jack on him with trusting now. So because your husband divorced you for cheating on him, so it means that Gwen choir will not have a husband, my dear. Whosoever you are, I think even forgetting your name. Because your own husband divorced you for cheating. So Gwen choir will not have her own husband. So you take over the woman's entire home and destroying it. And the woman is depressed because of what you're doing. So both ways. It's not only the men that are doing it, the women doing it. Because the women who going to love to the poor husband, they're destroying the people who they're leaving their own husbands there and doing it. You know, go ahead, mommy.
And I would just say that, you know, if you're a woman out there, you have to keep an eye on these things, because some people come underneath the pretense or wanting to be friends with you or wanting to be close to you or because they admire your relationship. Some of the people, you know, the Bible said we should watch and pray. But the women out there, they're not watching and praying, oh man. They're watching to take. That their whole idea, watch and take. They watch you. Your husband can't tell you hello. Oh, I admire you. I see you, everything. Oh, you look so cool together. You're a nice couple. You know, be scared of those people there. Because like, there is something they after. It is something that they after. They are watching. They're not watching you. The special people can say, oh, you know, I always see you. I admire you so much. That means it tells you right there that they have an eye on your relationship. They're watching you and they're watching your husband. But the thing is, you don't know the intention behind them watching. They are watching to take, man, not to pray to God and say, oh, God, you know, those two people now admire them so much. Please send me somebody, you know, that will love me, that I will have that kind of loving relationship that will last forever. That's not their prayer, man. Their prayer is to, in fact, there is no prayer behind it. They're just watching and they're setting for the right opportunity where they will catch the man somewhere where you're not present, and then they jackal him by his pants. And if you're a weak man, by the time they jackal his pants, they finish, man. You
Especially you use the word pure, you are weak. They men want to go around the community penis, they want to carry. Those men, we look at them as weak men. They don't want to go drop their trousers. Soon they say, they drop it like it's hot. Quick! That the weak men, they are weak. We have no respect for those men. They call them weak men. Go ahead.
Yeah, the weakest link. But you just got to catch them off guard. You just got to catch them the wives not around. You got them. You got them. That's why that's why I said in the beginning when you spoke, I took 3 words: admiration, respect, and self-control. And the self-control, being weak, it means that they have no self-control. And you don't have no respect. The women out there, they're admiring. But you as the man, say, my sister, back off. I'm a married man. You don't come, I respect my wife. I'm not going to step up on my wife. But we don't find those things these days. I don't know. And but the thing about it is that there are some other relationships and there are some men there who will stay in the ground and tell the women, say, no, back off. I'm a married man. I don't do stuff like that. I have my wife. I have my children. I love my wife and my family. I'm not going to do stuff like that. The men who say stuff like that, are they perfect men? No, they are not perfect men. I'm sure somewhere down the line they got something going on. But the bottom line is respect. Where is the respect?
Where is the respect?
Where is the respect?
Cherry Page, Cherry Yanti Page, she said the capital weak.
Respect.
Capital weak.
Yeah.
The three elements to keep your marriage healthy is commitment, love, and respect. I will come to that respect part. Where is the respect for yourself first? Where is the respect for yourself first before I say your wife? Where is the respect for yourself as a man, as a woman, that you will say, you know what? Because when you take all your clothes in front of somebody, my mom used to tell me when I was small, when we were growing up, trying to have a boyfriend, and say, Grace, don't go take all your clothes in front of no man, because when that man see your nakedness, that man own your respect. He own it because he finished seeing your nakedness. And then when you make him to lie on top of you, that spirit where he got in you sometimes can do it in him, it can do it into you. So y'all who passing around, just dropping this, I had a minute just sleeping with y'all. I had different spirit getting into y'all. That was some of y'all get a mental problem. Some of y'all got multiple personality. That some of us when we deal with y'all say when I was confused. How can a woman what just happened before you know in 2 seconds again? She fair. You know that the multiple personality from the different men and just enter all into you like that. That's why when you commit yourself to one person, after you commit, nobody say people can't date people. But when you commit to one person, you cannot allow it because you're bringing another spirit into your household. Even if you and that person not married, you're living together. It's wrong for you to step out of that household to go outside to go sleep with somebody else because you're bringing that person's spirit into your household. And sometimes it can disturb your job. It can disturb your home. Maybe you're trying to venture into business. That person, bad luck spirit, you're not bringing in your heart until now. Because when you leave from there, the spirit in you, you bring it in your heart. You start having argument. All the businesses you were supposed to do now, everything just falling apart. All the plans you have, everything just falling apart because you align with somebody else's demon spirit and brother in the household. That's the reason why before you take all your clothes from on you, for somebody to see your nakedness and lay down on top of you, you must think 14 times. When you finish thinking yourself with this, I say, no, I ever. The other person go here. Because you finish thinking now, you settle in your mind that you know what, this is not even worth it. Because it just to be, I don't know, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or 4 seconds, whatsoever second, your guy. You know? So you have to think about all these things. And you have to be able to accept each other for who you are, your flaws, and all. You have to learn to forgive each other when you fall short. That the only way the marriage or the relationship will work. When you decide not to forgive, then you have to just decide and say, you know what, the particular thing you did to me, I can't forgive it, so I will just have to let you go. Then you move on with your own life, the person move on with their life. But if you're still in a relationship, you have no right to step out of that marriage to go do anything because you're still in a relationship. So you have to find that space in your heart to forgive and move on because everybody got their problem. Their flaws going on. Some people will decide, say, okay, I will forgive you because you cheated, we'll move on, but I expect you not to do it. Some people will say, yeah, thank you for forgiving me. I will never do it, and they will never do it again. Some men, when they promise you, say, I will not do this again, they will never do it. Sometimes they will fall short. It happens to women too. Sometimes the woman will go, she will fall short. She'll say, honey, I beg you. I promise you, I don't know what getting to me. I will not do it again. If you trust that person's word, that word is the bond, you will say, okay. And then the people can move on from there. They will stay in that marriage. It will never happen again. Sometimes the person who did it will not know how to stop it. And I look at my phone and you say, you know what, we'll call our losses. Don't waste your time in that kind of marriage. Do not. And that's why most of our sisters are suffering today because they stay in the marriage. The men were cheating over and over and they accepted it over and over and again, hoping that the man will change. If that man did that thing first time, you forgive him. He said he won't do it again. He will not do it again. You'll move on with your life. He do it again. You're happy. If he goes and do it for the second time, man, he's not going to stop. You need to just call your loss and say, you know what? There you just go. Find somebody else to live your life for, because don't you getting old in that situation. And when you get old now, the man can leave. Yeah, we are quiet now. You know, start sleeping all when he get time for going again. Because Gwen now already 50 years old. And she can still find somebody because she's a freaking beautiful woman. Very highly intelligent. With all her legally blind disability. Highly intelligent and beautiful. So there's a guy out there that will see Gwen and pick her anyway. You know, but just in case, because you not get older, you don't want to be caught up in another relationship to learn to know about anybody again. You know you in your early age and they men do anything in that time for you to work because you think that man will change, he's not going to change. And he did it 2-3 times, man. Just call your loss and move on, find somebody else. That I just saying to you. So that the love, we finish talking about the committed part and the love part. And say you want to talk anything about the love part, we will go to the respect.
Yeah, but the love part is that you can find love at any age, Grace. At any age, it shouldn't even just be limited. If you're young, somebody do something to you and it can't change, move on. If you're even older and somebody doing something to you and it cannot change, you can move on. Anybody can find love at a certain age. And you myself talk about the thing I was telling you one time. I said, Grace, the problem is that sometimes the things we hold on to, God telling us to let it go. Because he got something better to put in, he got something to put in your hand. He's saying that unclench your face. Open your hands and what is in your hand, let it go. Because we refuse to let it go. And once it's in our hand, we don't let it go. What God got for us, he cannot give it to us because we'll not be able to receive it. Our hands are too full with the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Who told you we had to hold on to the wrong thing for life? You don't have to hold on to the wrong thing for life. And some people are wrong for each other. Yeah. Some people are just wrong for each other. They found each other in the beginning. Sometimes they met the right way. Sometimes they met the wrong way. But just because you love somebody in the beginning the right way or the wrong way, and now everything is just it has just broken apart to the point where the person don't even love you anymore. When love is gone, it's gone. Move on. Move on. Don't waste your time. We sat right here and we talk about wasted years. All those things that you wasted years. All the time you waste with somebody, forgiving them for nonsense, whereas the new in itself, they're not even planning on changing. Some people are not even planning on changing their ways. They have said to themselves, oh, I will just keep telling her sorry. And every time I tell her sorry, she will agree. And then when she agree, I will go into the next act and I will come back and she will say sorry. That is not love. That is not love. Like you said, that's domestic abuse. That's domestic abuse. And that's why that's why we are women advocacy group. That's abuse. We don't want to talk about rape. We will talk about domestic abuse if it's in our community or in any community and it comes to, we'll talk about it too, because that has to stop. Abuse can send people into depression. Some people are not strong enough to commit suicide. And I heard of a story in the Liberia. In fact, I will carry the man name later, but it's a backstory. I don't want to call his name because he was a reputable man in Liberia. Where he left, everybody heard that story. She got in the car and went and drove up off the bridge. Committed suicide because of that. And if you're a woman out there, we are telling you, you don't have to get to the point of depression. You don't have to get to the point of committing suicide. You have a life before you. Cut the situation short. The love is not there anymore. You can find love at any age. Move on. There is someone out there who just watching you. You never know. Let me tell you, not only women can watch you, men don't watch too. Men look for good women too. Mm-hmm. Because it's hard to find good women out there. Look at that other one. She had her marriage. She chose to be a side chick instead of to be a wife. She chose not to be a wife, to be a side chick, waiting for the man to divorce his wife to come with her. She's still hanging in there all these years. He have not divorced his wife, but he's still with you.
He's still with you, yes.
So men are watching too. So you
They,
never
they,
washing you, my sister. Don't waste your time. If you're in such relation, don't waste your time. You never know who washing and waiting. Say that fool there, I just waiting. By
they're
the time
waiting
he
for you to
mess up, I'm going for that woman. They'll make her my wife, and they will love you and respect you and make you feel like a queen forever.
Yeah, but you know what? I understand people can find love in any age because I told you that story about the woman or the man who found love in when they were almost 65. They met each other. The people never experienced that kind of love before, although they were with different partners. They went through abuses and stuff, emotional, physical. The other woman was physically abused. When that woman met that man, the boy said his mom became extremely happy. He had never seen his mom that happy until he had to love the man. She had only one child. And the people loved, they died together. They were in love at the age of 65 and 66. In love. You have some people can find love in their old age, but the power, y'all won't keep the women there for 27 years, 25 years, 20, 15 years, even 6 years or somebody left. You keep them. Then all of a sudden now you say, oh yeah, you know, I just yeah, I know they love that now. Move on. It's not fair to them. Because if you know you will stay with that person, you stay with them for the first two years, you will know whether you want to keep the person or not. If you want to keep them beyond 2 years, the person is supposed to become a wife. 3 years into the relationship, you are looking to marry the woman. And when you're looking to marry the woman, you commit to this woman here. You cannot come and say, oh, no, you know what? I can't do this anymore. After you stay with the woman, God, grandkids, they woman, I have to remove her phone, giving problem. Before you can come back. Grandkids is going being with a man for 27 years. What making your right now to go jump in the people marriage? And what making his right to even treat the woman the way he treated her or treating her right now? It's not fair to her. 27 years of your life, you can't get to somebody and then all of a sudden they say, oh, they love Dana, so move on. It's not fair. That you gotta carry him, and when you divorcing, you make sure you take every doggone stuff away. But then someone ain't even got nothing. So what you will be taking? What you will be taking? So let me just move forward now. We talk about respect and we talk about commitment. All these things. We talk about love and we talk about commitment. Because when you love somebody, it will not take you that long to forgive them when they do something, especially when you know you can forgive that particular thing. It will not take you that long when we all get disagreement to bring peace among yourselves. It will not take you that long. So when you love somebody, all those things will come in. Welcome back. But the part where you all lack respect, commitment, love, and respect. Expressing love, no matter how heartfelt you can express it, doesn't mean much if the marriage partner don't respect you. If you ain't get respect for each other, that person, oh, I love you. When they see people, they kissing you, they hugging you, they were quiet, being pretending all the years. When we go somewhere, you see you holding Gwen. The last time I saw them were in Minnesota. Me and my friend Yvette Chesson were in Minnesota to be a reunion. When I saw Choir and Gwen come in, I stood up because every time I see them, I stand up because I admire them as a couple. The way he would carry Gwen, he would hold the Gwen hand, fancy for her to sit down, he would sit, go and get food for her and everything. So when I see them, I used to stand up. I used to stand up to greet them. I would run to the table, they come to the table to me, I will hug them together sometimes. You hear? And don't, if he had respect for her all this time, I don't think these things were happening. If the commitment was that strong, I don't know what got into him. Maybe I need to call him to find out what got into him. But I don't have the mind to call him. When I call me, I'm going through my high first stage with the whole thing. Because I love Grenadine Dennis. She's my friend. We grew up from small. I gotta get over it. Just imagine, none of my relationship. I get to get over the loss already myself. Before I say, I don't know how Gwen getting over it. I get it over it myself. I heard the story. I ask you every time I call her, said that what I'm talking about. You hear? But he have respect for her, respecting your partner for their qualities, their thoughts, their capability means that you not only accept but also admire the differences. When she's legally blind, but Gwen can do almost most things for herself because she can see close range. She want to see far. So she will do everything. She will start to prepare food for him. Because me and her used to talk, I said, Gwen, you can prepare food. She said, yeah, Chris, I can cook more food for Choir because I can bring the thing close to me. I can try my best. She will do everything for him. I even heard he had an accident. She nursed him back to life. He broke all her bones in the body and she nursed him back to life. With all the way she can see, she was still taking her pee from the bottle, carrying it to go waste it, helping him to change her clothes. What was the side chick then? I wonder what they were. The girl was still suffering with her husband. As soon as he got away again, he went again, straight behind the side chick again. It's not fair to her. It's not fair. No respect. You hear? Respect can also help you to listen to each other's opinions. And he respected her, and she telling him, say, quiet, sit down. What happened between her? I don't like it. He will listen to her because he respect her. I would like this thing to stop. He will say, you know what, Gwen, I'm sorry, man. And he will stop it right away. That's what respect is in a marriage. Your significant other don't like something, you will try to stop it because you in love with that person. You are committed to them. You have committed to them. To human being were there. The quote was there. Maybe when you want to quote, the people talk about it, you agree to it. So if you respect her, your respect will make you to be able to overcome any challenges and disagreement. No other subject will be your challenge because when you look at a woman, you want something, she say, I don't like that. He will go far away from the woman because he respects his wife. He will not even try to even disagree. Even if they had different disagreement, you will say, you know what, my wife don't like this, I will not do it. That's why marriage is about, my people. Like bring men in. You're the women who passing around here say you're under sole purpose is to break up on family. You will get rotten each fish for doing the thing that you're doing. They will get it.
Well, how about the men who carrying themselves because he didn't take himself out of his home to go run behind and then like we're talking about self-control. It will not happen. And they got men in like that. And what men don't understand is that just like your wife is your pride, the woman husband is her pride too. So if you're a man, you take care of yourself all the place because you feel that you got it like that, or you feel that because you can do that, or you got it going on. And what most of the men in remembering, sis, is that half of them are doing anything and they're over 50, and I let a young body, half of them, they're over 50, they're 50 plus, and they're just all over the place. And you know, somebody told me a story that most of them on medication.
You joking?
Most of them on medication, pressure medication, diabetes medication, all kinds of medication, and they still passing around here. Now, how sometimes then when they get sick, I always tell you this way, then when they get sick now, then they won't come, but they won't run back into their wives. And that is why when a man is behaving like that, he carrying himself all over the place. And with all the diseases that are out here, you don't, as a woman, you don't even want to take that chance. Or as a man, you don't even want to take that chance because you don't know where you will pick up from out there. Because when they go out there, they do not cover themselves, sis. They don't cover themselves. And my grandmother always used to say, I tell you, Doris Harding always used to say, when you and then you're young together and you're supposed to accomplish together and do everything, that time it'll be running all around. Then when they have ran all around on you, they have taken you to be nothing. They have not respected you. They have not had no self-control in the marriage. When you look, they go out and the street have destroyed them because the street actually destroyed them. When the street had destroyed them and broken them up into pieces, then they come back, happen to you with their old crippled self. Happen to you and talking about, I acknowledge my transgressions and my sins are ever before me. Okay. So at this point in time, you coming to me to acknowledge your transgression and your sin ever before you. What's going to do about that? Go back to the street. It's the street that broke you up. Yeah. It's the street that caused you now. You just all kind of way. You sick. You got high blood pressure. You got diabetes. You got prostate. Most of them developing prostate issues. The young men at 50, they are developing prostate issues. They hide these issues. And some of them, their wives know, and their wives, they cover up for them. And the wives cover up for them, and they still cheating on the wives, and the wives hiding the shame. Yeah. Most of them got prostate issue. They're developing prostate issue, and they still can't sit down. They're all over Jericho. Yeah, all over the place.
Community penis.
Community project. Nationwide project. They are state trooper, women state trooper. They're going from woman to woman, state to state. Flying here, fly to Minnesota today, fly to Des Moines, Iowa tomorrow, fly to New York. They're just all over the place. And like you said, they have to respect themselves first. Yeah. They have no self-respect for themselves. Because if you respect yourself, you will not get yourself all over the place. How many people can see you, bro? How many people can see you?
Yeah, in the world, not see your nakedness.
Yeah. The whole world know how you looking at. When you come into a room full of women, they just bust out and laughing. They say, "Oh, I walk into the room, the women there, they just start laughing. You think that's something good? You think that's something good they laughing at you for?" And women were saying, "I can't say about what they not see." They were talking about it. Oh, they other one is tao. And you are saying so that the other one tao. And men do it too. And that's the reason why, as an individual, you need to have pride for yourself. You need to have self-control. You need to have self-respect. And if you married a woman, if you marry a man, you are in a relationship, respect the people, respect the person, respect the man, respect the woman. If you do not want to be in a relationship anymore, cut your losses and move on. But it is unacceptable for you to stay in the home and continue to treat the person bad, continue to abuse them emotionally. I'm going to say that because that is what is happening with most women. And you and I, Grace, we have a case right now that we've been working on the
I
same.
was just about to say,
The
like
same
money have a
abuse.
marriage case. We have a marriage case right now. The woman just filed her divorce. We made sure we walk her through the process. We got a lawyer. We got our lawyer here in the States. The lawyer is carrying her through divorce. The woman brought herself to the country, but we wanted divorce to go on. We'll bring the woman on our show. The woman brought herself to the country, brought she and the making from the time the woman was legal, coming up with the man, fought for everything he got. He's established. Start getting money, then he put a woman aside, the woman not going, not faking. After almost 30 years, after 5 children, 5 living children, he said he wanted a woman again, the woman should go. Then he wanted a woman to walk with nothing.
Yeah.
He want to go back to Liberia to go divorce a woman because the guy married in Liberia. We said, we're coming for you. We're too educated for you to can't tell us that, but you will divorce the woman in Liberia. We're divorcing you right in America. Well, we finish with you. When you move from there, you will never again. When God bring you back, maybe when the second world come again, if it will come, when you come back, you know yourself, you will respect yourself and not take your penis and say, oh yeah, you carrying it outside because you not use up the woman not work for you, you not get money now in America, you think you the shit. But we're getting ready for him. We got our case on our table. And I think we're coming to take Gwen case. Because I see, yeah, we're not going to be letting the jet fly around at that. We're coming to take Gwen's case.
Yeah,
Before you pray, why these are all the reasons that we need. The commitment, the respect, and the love. While they are there are plenty of other elements to keeping a marriage very happy. Including you have to have patience. The woman, oh yeah, she was nagging. The woman nagging. What kind of nagging? So the time you met a woman, the first time she was not nagging, eh? Now because you're not still long. I love you. I saw this so bad. Just answer one question, mouth. The time you met a woman, she was not nagging. But when you're finishing together for the 30 years, and then you say, oh, she nagging. She do this. So you have to have patience. You have to be able to communication, intimacy. You can't leave your web, you get fresh woman laying inside you. That the way that man in like, bro, I know that the police director, they say the man was having phone sex in America. Why he fresh web laying on the real body laying inside, he ready to have sex. He one on one. You call you another woman having phone sex on the phone. You get your fresh web, even you want to have sex with her, but you won't step out of the house to go look for another woman, to go bring sickness to the woman. Because most of the women that you go into, when you leave from there, another man coming there because you're not sleeping there. So the woman can freestyle, she can go decide to have another man. That other man's spirit getting there, then you add in your own there, then you bring the bad law into your house. See, then we're talking. There has to be trust, there have to be empathy, and also humor. You got to make each other laugh. You people have to be having empathy for one another. You got to feel, when your spouse going through something, you have to be going through that stuff because you and that person connected that way. You feel sorry, you want to be there for them. And so all the other things added to the commitment, the love, and the respect. Fred, you want to come in?
Yeah, and I just want to say, the emotional abuse is just too much. We usually talk about domestic violence and rape and all those things in Liberia, but we can't keep our eyes off of where we are in the diaspora, because even though some women are going through emotional abuse, domestic abuse in this diaspora, but we find that the emotional and mental abuse is overwhelming. It is overwhelming in our society, in the diaspora. And people just taking it to be a laughing matter, to be a joking matter. People take it to be fun. People make fun posts about it as if to say it is not that serious. They're trying to make it's almost like a normal thing now. That if the man is emotionally abusing a woman or mentally abusing a woman, oh well, that's how it is now. No, it is unacceptable. A relationship, marriage, you're supposed to be happy in it. You are not supposed to be miserable in it. You are not supposed to be grieving in it. You are not supposed to be isolated in it. How can you be married to somebody but you are isolated in a marriage? You are grieving every day. Every day there's some emotional trauma going on with you to the point that you're slipping into depression. It is totally unacceptable, and we all need to talk about it. All women need to be talking about it. And that's the thing about it, because the thing is, these things happen, and the men hold together. The men make a pact and they come together, and they say, oh, we support our boys. You know, I support my boy, I support my boy. But the women, they don't hold together. The women, we destroy, we take pleasure in destroying our fellow women home. Yeah, we take pleasure in it. It's almost like an adventure. It brings thrill to some women for them to run after your home, run after your marriage, and destroy your marriage. It brings some kind of high to them. It brings some sort of satisfaction to them. Why would we do each other like that when we're supposed to be protecting each other? Why?
Yeah. Said you said we should talk about how she had a birthday party for the man in her house. Mia Foley Parker. They said she had a birthday party for Nima Choir in her house. Her boyfriend in her marital home. Yes, they said she had a.
He went to the party when she
He went to the party. He even invited Gwen to go to the party, and Gwen man was in the hospital sick. He told Gwen, say, let's go to the party. Gwen said, my man in the hospital, say, before her man died, say, my man in the hospital, say, with cancer, you think I can go to the party? The woman had a party in her marital home while Eric Parker was in the home with her. The woman had a party, and he took her friend, and then they went and enjoyed the party. Then the men were in the home. The men never even knew that what was going on. But Eric Parker, man, we won't tell you better go. You better go and do child how they call it DNA without 2 children out more. You better look into it. If I were you, Eric Parker, I would go to DNA because a lot of they put been going on long time. They whole story what we putting together. When I heard it from Sergi, I started doing my background check too. I said, what my friend be going through when you see Gwen? She just smiling, hi Chris. Not knowing Gwen was going through hell. You hear? The last 2 children she get, Eric Parker, you better go do DNA with them because the thing what we're hearing is now an easy thing, and we will not send out here for you to abuse Gwen. We ready. Anything I want to do, you do it ready. And the other woman there, oh yeah, you know, she called the girl house. Yeah, I know the mom moves. Kind of you too insecure. Why I call your husband phone? You answer the phone. You too insecure. Oh. You call the woman husband phone, she answer the phone, and you call the tell the woman say she insecure. If I were your husband phone, somebody call and the normal string and you there, you answer the phone. You will not answer your husband phone, but you who let us sleep on your United Nation. How they call her say that Cornelia. She said that they call them United Nation, non-stop perfectly. United Nation. So that your husband, somebody call the phone and you answer and get a woman cheap up because Choir ain't got no respect for Gwendolyn. That's why you were able to give her that cheek. Because that's some men that will tell you, say, I will never answer my wife answer, you cut the freaking phone off. That's why you are going to tell you, kind of, oh yeah, you know, when they hear I call your husband phone, you answer it, you suffering from low self-esteem. You're insulting the woman on her husband phone. Who the hell are you to do that? And then you want to tell us say you are not loving to the man, you are loving to him. You must care how to cook, we're ready for you. You are loving to him. But it's legally branch, she has a disability. We're not going to sit out here for you to kind of walk over her. It's not fair to her. That's nonsense in high places. Go ahead.
Remember when I said, Grace, I said, you know, not all men are perfect. There's some men put their foot down, but they're not perfect. But when you have respect for your own, there are men who cheat. And there are men who hold their home together, even during the cheating. They tell you, say, when you see my wife, don't even come near her. Don't say hello to her. Don't initiate no conversation with her. If you call the phone and my wife answer, you hang the hell up and you don't say nothing to her. To me, he's not supposed to be cheating her, but he's laying the groundwork for respect for his home. Don't come near my home. Don't come near my home. Don't come near my family. Don't say nothing to my children. Don't say nothing to my wife. You see me and my wife out, stay the hell far away. Don't come in my face or in my family face. But just like you said, when you have no respect for your home, and you have no respect for your own wife that you made a vow to. Those things happen. Because how dare another woman call your house? She got the audacity to ask the woman, say, oh, why you answering your husband phone because you got a low self-esteem?
I said,
How bad luck is that?
then she tell the woman, say the woman got low self-esteem. She the mean person on all the picture with the man holding the man waist, holding her back, all her hand over her neck. Then you tell the
So who
woman,
got a low
a woman see you on the picture with her husband that you think she will not want to know who are you, especially you not her friend. Even if you are a friend, you have no right. I got a lot of brothers then on their Facebook. Some of them I knew them from Liberia. They are my friend. I don't go around, can't go hug them to go take picture and then they holding my waist and holding my butt. No, then you won't can't tell her why. Yeah.
So that
I
who
will,
got a
we
low
will take grandkids. I'm gonna bring it to her. We let her know. They
So who
put they
got
wanted
low
their love.
self-esteem, Grace? And
That
that
she the one got a low
she
self-esteem.
that she got a low self-esteem. I mean, the audacity of some women. How do you even? You don't even supposed to ask a woman why she answering her husband for? Really, seriously. But the choir gave her that permission to do it, because if you what you don't give permission to will not happen, Grace. What you give permission to is what is going to grow arms and legs and wing and become a full-scale human being. So
Exactly.
apparently, choir have given these women out there, he have groomed them to the point that they have become full-scale human beings in his relationship. Now they control his relationship. But like we say, Gwen has family. And if unfortunately now, I would say fortunate, even as unfortunate the situation is, fortunately now, people who are close to her and people who love her that they didn't know what was going on, got to find out through the show that how it looking, the things that are happening. And there are some people who will protect her, and that's what we're supposed to do, because sometimes we think we are strong in a relationship and we have to look out for each other, because you might see your sister, she looks strong, like you said, she always smiling. I don't know her, but pictures that I saw that was put up, she has a beautiful smile, she has a beautiful personality. You can see her, you see her.
Girl, you gotta come me back. If you are having technical problems, guys, you're sorry, yeah, because every time you see Gwen, she just smiling. Even sometimes you talk, even the thing going on, say I was talking to her, she started laughing. I said, "Hey, when you laughing?" She said, "Chris, what I would do?" She said, "You heard my story on stage." She's showing. I said, "Yeah." She said, "What I would do, my dear? What I can do?" She said, "I can't believe it myself." I felt so sorry for her. I felt so sorry for her. She's such a nice woman. She is such a nice woman. It's not fair. Before we go further, for me to give you other tips to how to build in a trust in your relationship, I will announce to you that this Saturday, August 14, we are having a masquerade party at the Sheraton Hotel in Rockville, Maryland. If you're in that area, the DMV area, come out and support the cause, because we raise money for things like these to help people. We raise money because I know Gwen going through a lot of financial issues. I don't think she has financial issue, but at least if we can send her a purse, just to help her, because she's a very, she's together. She got her stuff together. I trust that. So financial issue will not be her issue, but at least if we can give her a purse just to even, for her to just get out there and have lunch with maybe her daughter or a friend, just to get her away from a situation like that. But people who we help to don't have money, sometimes we help them with finances and stuff. That's why we have this party to help women and children, and sometimes men, because men too are being abused as well. So we help people like this. So we're having a party August 14th, this Saturday at the Sheraton Hotel. It starts at 7 p.m. The flyer is on all the pages that we have. The Liberian Women Advocacy page is on there. It's on my 2 pages. Then it is on a Split Talk, the Non-Generation page. You go there, you will see the detailed information. I know some of you will come and pay at the door. We'll still accept you to come in. The place is, it's getting packed. So make sure you come and show your support. We'll have good food and drinks. We'll be serving, alcohol, and we'll give it to you for free. We later on decided to just, before we wanted to sell it, but the person, we had a donation. Somebody donated a whole or Trump or alcohol to us. So we said, no, we can't sell it with just the people who were paid to come in. They will have freedom to have all of those things. You will have free food and we'll be dancing the night away. It's not a program to raise money. We just go in there. We're going to dance, come out and have fun. Some of y'all who passing around looking for poor husband, y'all need to go to the party then, because they got some decent single Liberian men that are looking for wealth. So maybe y'all will meet them there instead of y'all be creeping behind people husband, creeping. You hear? They say wash and pray. You say no, you're going to wash to take. Yeah. Well, like Ross said, they say wash and pray. You say no, you're going to wash to take. So y'all come to these parties then so y'all can be these single men. Because most of y'all don't know why y'all ain't let single men at them poor husband and y'all go behind. But they got plenty like bring single men, our friends with plenty of them. You know, and they're looking for decent women to marry to. So when they're up there in age, 47, 50, 55, they won't marry, settle down. They can't even find women. Now knowing you're just busy running behind the people husband then. That's why they can't find you because you're too busy trying to take somebody else's husband. So y'all come out August 14 at the Sheraton Hotel in Rockville, Maryland. We'll be there. Don't worry, we have security. You can't try anything. The bouncer will bounce you outside. Period. We having security there so that when you mean about our DJ is Levi Jones, he will be blowing the night away, and a lot of other things will be going on. We will do a lot of it will be nice. Like I can tell you, come there for yourself and enjoy yourself. And we want respectable program. It's a formal program. It means that you got to dress up. You're not coming there looking like something. You got to dress up and come in your clothes looking good. We have our picture booth there. You can come and take pictures. The picture will be there. You can pay for your picture, or you can take the poker later on. We'll send the pictures to you. And the food is going to be very nice because our caterer is one of the best in the DMV area. So you will not be worried. The food will be there. We'll have enough food for everybody to eat. And you can book the hotel. It's $99. If you want to book, you just say Lawani. We'll send a link to you, or you can call and tell the people you're coming to the party that Liberian Women Advocacy Network International is having on the 14th, which is this Saturday, and they will book the room for you for $99. It's cheap, and you can sleep overnight and go home. God will be there until in the morning, But after some time, we'll cut people from coming in, so you will be coming in a certain time. We won't put a just be bouncing in. Or if we start coming 12 o'clock, we not allow you in our hall at 12 o'clock. It means that the people in the hall that we don't want to be in the hall. Nobody coming there 12 o'clock and come in the hall, or you're not coming there even 10 o'clock midnight, 10 o'clock and come in the hall. We want everybody to be in the hall and seated and getting ready to party at least by 7:30. Everybody should be there 8 o'clock. After that, that's it. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I'm not who we're talking about. You tell your voice.
Because when they come be straight to party 11 o'clock, we're not having that. We are not having that. Because the hall is already will be packed. We can't 11 o'clock. We can't allow you there. We will just be able to be happy with each other in the hall at that particular time. At least the time frame that we give him, we want everybody to be there on time. Because there's a certain time we eating, and after that we're not eating again. So we don't want people to start coming 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I don't get food." By that time the food is already served. Means that you're not going to eat. So there is no need that you will be coming in that time. Because even if you pay your money, no food there for you to eat. And so you just can't drink. Because we get it hard, they got them waste, so you just can't drink. And when you act the food and family, and then will be you outside, you will go.
But I just wanted to add to say that you talk about the booking. I just wanted to know if you're someone who coming from out of town and planning on staying in a hotel, you need to book because the same day booking, you cannot come and book for that price at the same day. The regular rate is $129. So you need to book your room. If you're planning on staying in a hotel, you need to book your room prior to the program. If you come in, if you think you're coming in that day to book your room, you're going to pay the regular price of $129 a night. So I just wanted to say that out there. Book your room in advance. That is between now and Thursday. Because come Friday, it's considered the weekend and the rate is going to go back up to $129. Don't hold us responsible and say, oh, like when people say, well, $99. No, it's $99 within a certain time frame. You got from 9 between Wednesday, latest Thursday. Thursday night at 12 p.m., which will be Friday morning, the price is going back up to $129. You on your own.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people already booked their room. Someone they called me today. So book your room before Thursday midnight, so you can pay the $99 that flat rate. You book your room, you pay the $99. You go at Friday morning or Saturday morning, you say, "Oh, I can't put a room that I want to get it having the thing. I can't put my report." They say the price going. Oh, don't blame us. So yeah, that's what we're saying. So come out, let's have fun. The money you pay to enter to dance and eat and drink, until you can't drink no more. That money there, half of it is going towards to help somebody in Liberia or here in the States. We have a case or two in America here that we helping Liberian women who going through depression, but they see men cheating business.
Yeah.
And we got cases in Liberia that we help a lot. If you go our page, you will see some of the things that we do. The Liberian Women Advocacy Network on Facebook. You will see some of the work that we do. We do a lot of work in Liberia. We will not come here and say all of it. If you want, you can follow our page so you can see what we're doing. Right now, we are processing a little boy named Charles Starway, and you will start bringing information on that case, and you will go and see that it's happening. So the money that you donate to us, we use it for causes. We just don't raise money to put in our pocket. And the people in Minnesota, we heard they go and raise money. Somebody pocket all the money and put it in the pocket and they're moving with it. You know, and that's some of the sad things that Brent can do. But that is enough for our advertisement. We're coming back. How to build trust in your marriage. How to build trust in your marriage. Trust is the key thing to any marriage. Because if you start to do the thing that you might quiet now, the woman can trust you. But we're using as an example, but I got a history of dinner. Yeah, so that it is. So the woman cannot trust you, then the marriage become problem. You see, you start having problem in marriage. But they say that trust is more fragile than glass, and it's shattered with a lightless blow. So the trust is fragile. That even the glass, when you hold the glass come fall and you fall into the hole because you know when you fall down will break, it even fragile than the broken glass. That how trust is. You have to make sure trust is in the marriage at all times. And once that trust is lost, it may be difficult to regain that trust. To maintain trust in a marriage, you have to keep your word. No matter how insignificant it may seem to you, you have to keep your word. When you stood out on that pulpit, you said for better and for good, forever, me and you will be together. We'll stay together. That word that you said it in front of God and man. You have to keep that word. When you want to approach that girl by herself, she needs to see you before in her left, or you saw somebody and say, I like that girl. You knew you were going there. Someone you go like the girl, just want to have sex with her for the minute. But when you start getting in relationship with that person and you start building trust with them, you have to keep that trust. It's very, very important. If you don't have that trust, the whole relationship is insignificant. You have to be available for your partner when you need to be. And when you tell them, say you're going to be available, you make yourself available. I don't care what the other case may be. All the other things, they can go to hell. Because you say you were going to be available, you have to make yourself available at that time. That's how trust is built. Because you said something, you did it. As you said something, you did it. Oh, yeah, I said I would be there. Yeah, I didn't fall asleep. Oh. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. How the person gonna trust you? You see? So that's the kind of thing you have to do to build trust in a relationship. You have to make yourself available and stick on your word that I will be available. When you tell your wife you're going, oh, I'm going to buy you a shoes, and you need to buy that shoes, you bring a gift card, say, man, I look where I run the shoes I'm going to buy for you. I need to buy, but because I say I will buy you the shoes, let the money here or let a gift card to the store, you can go and get the shoes. Express yourself honestly and openly. If you know something going on, you want to talk to your wife, you have to tell her, be honest and be open. You want to talk to your husband, be honest and be open. It's important. Don't you know you know that you're not getting it like before. They're not getting it like before. Sit down. Don't make frustration out of hey, you go in the room and you fail your face. Me, I will go up. I can't take the thing. You're not supposed to go up because you make commitment, but you're supposed to be honest and say to her, say, man, we're not having sex that before. I would like to have more sex. So what can I do, you get, so I can get that booty? Right there, the woman just already, man, you may have to fall on inside. She will roll and say, what inside? The naked way you will say it. Man, without having sex a few times, what's going on with you? Anything I can help you with? Something wrong, mama? Okay, no, nothing wrong. All right. So what I can do now for me to just, I already digging that booty. I won't get some. Can I have some booty? And right there, you just made a woman want to have something to do with you. The sex that happening in marriage, you know what that woman going through. The work can be stressful. Sometimes interaction with other people can be stressful. What you need to do to bring your wife to that stage to want to have the sex with you? So all those things you have to communicate, be loyal, and show them that they can count on you. If the woman can count on you, soon you say, hey, yeah, she will open season. She will open season because you should know that you always loyal to her. She can have that trust in you. Even sometimes she want to do it. She'll say, oh, I don't feel that. But the next day, she will want to say, let me just get my husband some, or do I feel that? But because of the trust that I trust him, I know he's not going anywhere. So I will try to, make sure he's okay. Because everybody know that in most cases, men and less sex more than women. And be a patient listener. Always try to listen to the other person because everybody got feelings going on. Listen to them what they're trying to say. Sometimes they will say like you listening, but you catch that thing, you think about it. And later on, you can bring it back up for you to discuss it because maybe you will be caught off guard when they say something to you. You don't have to be mad with it. Just say, okay, I hear you. And then later on, you can bring it up for you to discuss it so you can have a beautiful marriage. You can come in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that marriage is
Yeah,
beautiful.
she said, man. She said, hey, I said, you made tears to come in my eyes. She said, sometimes I think if my parents were together, a lot of things that I experienced as a child, I wouldn't have experienced it because I would have had the guardians. And I am not saying they didn't protect me, but they were so busy fighting and doing their own thing. I guess they forgot about me. Hey, yeah. I has I had to have two separate parties growing up because they couldn't get along. I had two graduation parties growing up because they couldn't get along. Everything had to be separated because her mother can't stand her father, and all that kind of thing. The things that we put our children through. Seji, man said, get my story, oh man. My umpa, my power not there at all. When I was born, they say he died. That all I knew. So I was just there. My mom raised me by herself. I mean, I used to crave for a father. I just wanted to have that feeling. Sometimes I used to see my friends in with their pa. I say, hey man, I wish I just had that. I started even getting mad with the man for even dying. I said, yeah, I just wanted to have that. And so I know where you're coming from. I just wish that in my mom she never found love. She said she didn't want to be bothered again. She just gave up her life at the age of 41. And she was just living, taking care of her children. And I just wanted to experience that. So but I said when I used to see my friends and father come for them, or anywhere I see them, I said, wow, I wish I had that. But I still appreciate that I have my mother. But until today, I don't know a feeling of a dad. I just don't. The only time I see it is I see my husband interact with my children, and sometimes I say, yeah, I wish I had this because the way he's a very good father to them. So I say, I wish I had it, but I never experienced that, man. If you were lucky, her pa and her mom been there all her life. Frog, go ahead, you want to come in? Right there? Oh, frog, phone stuck again. Oh. Yeah, Flora, lucky she had her pa and her mom there. Her pa, a loving father, mom, loving mother. Some of us never had that. I said, I experienced that with you, although your situation is very different. I can relate to it a little bit. Yeah, I can relate a little bit because for me, my pa was never there. But when you have to be, how the other person say, well, no, I'm not coming there. I mean, their parents can get their children, let their children go through a lot. That's why we see when you make commitment with somebody, just stay with them. I cannot even imagine what Nima Kwaya daughter going through because although she's older, she's 27, I think she's about 26. I don't know they get. But you know how it is for you to see your father treat your mother that way. That girl going through her own trauma. She's going through her own trauma. Seeing her mother go through that kind of stress. I don't know how the man don't have feeling for him to even be doing what he's doing. I mean, not only to your wife, but you even doing it to your child. I can't imagine what she's going through. It was good that you even brought it thing. I don't even imagine what I get going through. Seeing her mother be treated like that, seeing her mother with a disability, her own father treating her own mother like the way he's treating her. How you expect for your daughter to go into the world and marry and expect different from a man? How do you expect that to happen? Where you won't come in?
Yeah, but that's most of the thing. People like to do things, but they don't think about the trauma that the children that trickle down to the children. Because the children get destroyed emotionally in the process, and because they're so busy with extracurricular activities, you never know what kind of trauma the child or your children are experiencing. And then the children grow up, and some of them grow up with the wrong perception of how things are supposed to be. Because to them, whatever that was happening now look like a normal thing, whereas it's not normal. It's not normal. And like the kids were talking about, how do you expect if a man is ill-treating your daughter, you as a father, what you got to say to him? You ain't got nothing to say to him. Ain't jack crap you can say to him. Jack crap you can say to him because first of all, you have never been a good example to your daughter. You've never shown her how a good man, a good husband is supposed to be. She has not seen it. So how you now as a father expect her to go out into the world and select a man or know a man or good man and how he's supposed to treat her? If she found somebody that treating her bad, maybe she would think it's normal. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't know why people don't think about these things, because in everything, when children are not involved, that's a different case. But when you got children involved now, or when you got wife, when you marry now, everything changes. When you marry, it's time to sit down. If you're ready to sit down, you don't marry. Do not get married. Go around between your pretty boy Carlos thing. Be going from knocking yourself from pillow to post, knocking yourself all there, yeah, there, and you're not. That's on you. And whatever you pick up from there, you pick it up from there. When you broken up, that's on you. But when you have brought yourself into a marriage, when you have brought yourself into a covenant, because the marriage is a covenant. It's not just an ordinary thing. You make a vow to that woman before God. It's a covenant. How now? How dare you now just stand up and just think that you're supposed to live in a just all happy go lucky, and without even thinking about the repercussions to your children of your actions, that it will weigh the children, what it will cause them. And that's what we're talking about. The abuse is so much, because not only is the wife abuse, the children are suffering emotional abuses.
Yeah.
The children are going through abuse.
Yeah. Her
And
daughter is like going through a lot.
You told me a story. I think somebody told me a story where the child ended up committing suicide because of the same thing. People just fight in the house all day. All day. So since the child being born, all they can hear that is fighting. Just the tension, the back and forth. If it's not fighting each other and beating each other in the house all day, it's either the woman running around or either the man being running around since the child being born. So children being born, they never seen their father be a committed person before. From the time they open their eyes or they knew themselves as a child, their father had always been a cheater. He stayed cheating. So children, with their mother, since they being born, their mother had been cheating for life and can't change. How do you expect children go through their own thing? So the bottom line is, whatever it is that is going on, it needs to stop. If you don't want to be with somebody, just cut your losses and move on. Don't abuse them in the process. Don't take their love for granted. Most people take people's kindness to be a weakness. They look at their wives and they take them because their wives are kind to them. Their wives are willing to forgive them and take them back. They take it to be a weakness. Some of them will even turn around and abuse, insult you in the face and say it is your fault that you choose to take what you're taking from me. The mess you're taking from me is your fault, because other people won't take it from me, but because you can take it from me, because of that, you are a fool. How do you tell a woman like that? You break her heart into pieces. You take her goodness. When God said we should forgive, you take forgiveness to be a weakness and use it against her.
And most of the time, the women, they can be forgiving those things because of the children. Because I come and read some comments. She just made a statement. She said it makes you feel like you're alone, and being that I was the youngest one in the family, my older sibling didn't talk about it, but with me, it really damaged me. Hey, CJ, look at you, myself, get a story together. Myself, the youngest, myself, my sibling, then they didn't talk about it. They lived their life, they enjoyed. And then when it got to me now, I couldn't understand why, my dad wasn't there. I just couldn't understand it. I still can't sometimes, as old as I am, with 3 children. My oldest child is 20 years old. I still go back to those days and think like, damn, man, how could this thing happen? And she said, me growing up, because being separated from your parents and praying that one day you will come to America and have that family, and then you get here and everything is just destroyed at the age of 7 years old. She was happy to come here, and then when she came here, everything was gone because the parents were not getting along. And I will read Clarina's statement. She said, Clarina said, my sister, what I know about us women, we try not to put our kids through all that. So most of us sit in it and take so much emotional and mental abuse. Yeah. That's why I just said, the women, most of them, they just stay in it when they can't tell them sorry. They say, okay, they're thinking about the children. Because when you don't want to separate the kids from the dad, you don't want to break up the home, then you say, okay, let me just stay in it. But sometimes warfare, my dear, sometimes it can even break the home. It can break your children's heart more, because your children sitting down there watching you being abused. There's no need for them to even stay being that kind of household. So sometimes you just have to really walk away just to get your children's sanity. And she said, but girl, most of us are living by God's grace. So if we may continue sitting in it for the kids, something might happen to us. Yeah, something might happen. You stay there for the kids, you stay there, and maybe that why what good says you never know. Maybe it was just good for your mom, everybody had to find a separate way. But shut up, you just got caught up in the thing now when you're having one graduation party, you can't have one so, then you have one so because the two parents and they can't just even try to even just be able to exist in the same place because of the children. Selfishness is selfishness. That's what my mom said. Soon my father was not there. My mom said, you know what? Thanks to men, I would just stay and take care of my children. That's what she did. She didn't want to bring no distraction in her hustle. My father was already going there. So we never experienced none of that. But just that I just missed. I never experienced like a father love. I just don't have that. That's why most of the times, sometimes I don't really give a hank. When it comes to, I had to work in my relationship keenly because I was just that no nonsense. I had to like, okay, I had to, when I committed myself in my marriage, and my husband was good to me, I decided that I have to be able to exist with him, you know, and where he is because he's a good man. So I had to be able to do all of that. But I never had time when it comes to men. I just used to say, I just don't care, I had to get to myself and be able to live and correct myself. I went through counseling and everything because of that. To be able to say, I thank God today that my marriage, have lasted for years now because it gave me a lot of hard times. She just never even trusted me. I was the same way. I just did not trust. I just did not trust because that when my father died, he did a lot of craziness to my mom as well, and that's why she didn't want to be bothered anymore. First I used to think that maybe she loved him so much, and I know until my sister started to explain to me some things, because I never knew. I was just born, I never saw the man. I mean, that was yeah. So when I started to learn some things, I just never gave for him. I had to go through counseling and prayers, praying for myself. Reading the Bible, going through counseling. I went through counseling, or therapeutic counseling and the Christian counseling. I went through all, just to be able to work along in the relationship. I advise people to do that. It's very important, for us to do that. Fred, you want to say your last word so we can, because we're sitting here all day, we will continue the thing because the thing we're going on. God, next week we'll come up with the same thing, but we'll come up in another form. We got to consistently talk about it. So maybe it will help somebody home, because this is just sad. What we're hearing, what's going on is just too sad for our own sisters to be destroying their friends' families and think it's okay. And children are involved in this thing. So because the other woman now, we know what are the children for the man. Who knows? If that other man go do DNA, the training now for him, that other man children, that's small thing. Go ahead, Rama.
Yeah, I'm just glad that people are getting, like, women are getting the courage to speak up now, because a difficult thing. It's a shameful thing, and most of the time people won't speak up because they're ashamed about the situation. But people are getting the courage now. They're starting to speak up, especially now, and when they trust somebody, when people trust you, they will come to you, especially now that we're in advocacy. People are coming and speaking up little by little and say, can I talk to you about this? Can I talk to you about that? I want you to help me with this situation, but I want it in the back, you to do it on the back end and stuff like that. Like the cases that we're working with in the diaspora, it's being on the back end. And then once that issue is resolved, the person is willing to come to the forefront. So these things, I just want to encourage our sisters out there, those who are married and going through all the emotional, verbal, and mental abuse. You can talk about it. Find someone who you trust and talk about it. And like Chris said, go to counseling. Counseling is necessary for us all. Even if you're not having problems in your marriage with your husband, every now and then it's a good thing to do counseling. One lady told me, she said, every now and then, go for counseling. Don't wait till you have problem for you to do counseling. Counseling is not only about having problem and going get talked to or saying it to somebody. It's for your own mental stability. So go for counseling. But if you're a female out there, don't be ashamed. If your marriage is being destroyed by somebody else, it is not your fault. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't let the man tell you, say, oh, I'm going out to cheat because you don't do this anymore, because when I met you, this, when I this and this or that. That's a poor excuse. When he married you, he made a commitment. The commitment was for better or for worse. The commitment was till death do your part. So Don't be ashamed. The bottom line is to find somebody you trust, because it's not everybody you can trust out there. Some people you tell your problem to, and they will run with it and make fun of it and make fun of you and use it as a gossip tool against you. So find somebody you can trust, somebody who can point you in the direction of a counselor or of a lawyer to help you. If you're looking to seek divorce, or even if you don't want to divorce, the lawyer can give you some guidelines, because the lawyer just will not suggest divorce to you. He will tell you some stuff to do. He will ask you some question, and you never know, in that process your marriage could heal. And also seek counseling. Get counseling. Go to a Christian counselor. When you have done a Christian counseling, also do social counseling, because it's good for your psychic. Because everything is social, and that's the reason why when people doing things to us, we're ashamed to bring it to the forefront, because we're afraid how people will look at us to be, oh, the people might think I'm stupid, the people might think I'm being covering up, the people might think I'm being pretending. So you need social counseling and you need Christian counseling. But please, 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 if you are in a woman, if you are a woman in a marriage that is destructive, that is emotionally, mentally, and verbally, physically abusive, find you somebody who you can trust. Bottom line is trust. And speak up. Don't die in it. Don't go into depression. It's not worth it. Don't even think about suicide. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth it, because at the end of the day, God got something for you. God got something better. So speak up to somebody. Find somebody you can trust. Let them counsel you, talk to you, and you can get back on track and live your life. And if you got children involved, please think about your children, your children's mental stability, to think about them, because they too, when you think you are going through abuse, it's not just you're not going through it alone. Your children are also going through it, but they're just not talking about it.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, as Ross said, I think that took me way back. As Ross said, counseling is important, and as I told you, I had to go through counseling, and I don't do it because I having any problem in my home. No, it's not that. Sometimes we just go through counseling, especially with what happened with my mom. Dying as a teenager in Liberia during the war, and when I came here, that one of the things that I did, I started to go through counseling. So when I got married, me and my husband decided that every now and then we don't have problems. Sometimes we just go through counseling. We got a very nice counselor. What he happens that he was our neighbor before, and we never even knew when we went to the counseling. We met him. He was so funny, but he's a dynamic counselor, and he himself told us that he goes through counseling as well, even in his own marriage, because he got to get other people's point of view to him and what he thinks. So he's dynamic in his counseling, and sometimes we just talk about things, just to reassure our marriage, and re-inform ourselves of things that we need to do to better our marriage as we go forward. So I would say this is my closing statement in the marathon. I don't know whether you guys watch the Olympics. The Olympics, I think today is the last day, and the marathon ended. And in the marathon, you saw this guy from Kenya. His name is Kapchuji. Kipchuji. Eliud Kipchoge. He won the marathon, and you saw the distance between him and the people he was running with. Because first, all of them were running on the same speed, and then people were dropping from that marathon. At the end of the day, I think only 7 people made it to the finish line. And Kipchoge, he won the marathon, and he won it from a distance. I mean, the distance, I think almost 4 to 5 or 7 minutes before the other people start reaching to where he was. Out of 4 minutes or something like that. But I just see marriage and life is like a marathon. You started, you have to continue. You cannot give up. If you want to reach to that finish line, which is that you have to keep the marriage until God call you death to your part, and you want to live that life, to leave that legacy for your children or your grandchildren to be proud of. Say my grandfather and my great grandmother, my great grandfather, my great grandmother, they stayed together. They were the patriarchs of this family, and they kept it. And because of your life, your children coming will want to say, you know what? We want the thing to be a legacy that carry on, trickle down into our family. You see some family, all the people they marry, they always marry, their marriages stay. You want to have that. You want to create that for yourself. You in a marathon, you will run. The man in a marathon, sometimes he was tired. Although he was in the front, but he was moving. There was nothing stopping him. He was continue moving. Distraction came. Sometimes they had to pick up water to drink. Sometimes they had to pick up the water to raise it. He was able to pick it up. He was able to move. And most people think that at the end of the marathon, that's when people get tired and people start to stay back, because one of the Kenyan guys, he stayed back. He was tired now. He couldn't make it to get a bronze or the silver. So he never got anything, but he made it to the finish line. The people who were behind him, they were tracking when they were reaching to that finish line. By the time they started putting force into it. And that's how marriage should be. It's not when you meet the woman, then you start putting force into it because you want to put force to eat chicken. No. You putting force to the end of the marriage. You know the marriage coming to an end. You're getting old. In the United States together 20 years. They're going and choir. They stay together 27 years. That the time choir is supposed to be running and making sure the marriage works, putting more strength into it. That nothing will stop. I will keep this thing. It will hold it to the end. You know, me and Gwen being together. No matter how disappointed, my wife is beautiful. I love her. You putting force not only to the beginning. You put force because you want lay down with a woman and sleep, or whatsoever she get to offer on the table you wanted. So you have to put force all the way to the end until death do your part. It's like running a marathon. That's how marriage and family life is. Continue running your marathon. Don't let nobody distract you. No water bottle there in the side when it comes, you just kick it. There you go away. Yeah. When somebody try to pull you back, say, leave my clothes, we're running. I can't go back. I'm holding you. Run until you reach to the end of the marathon, and you will win at the end of the marathon. Because when you keep your marriage to the end, we don't know how the next world will be. We don't know whether when God calls, they say, when the Bible says that we as Christians believe that when the end comes, when Jesus comes, we all will rise again. At least that split second, if you will know your family member, your wife will be there to see you. You know, you're not finished passing all over the place. The woman even says, see you, say, and she just very already say, but what are you doing here? You know, just a fun part, but you want to keep that thing because your children are coming after you. That legacy will remain, you know. And that's what we want. We want everybody home to be happy. We want people to admire and respect and commit and love in their marriages and in a long-term relationship, because it's very important for the community, it's important for the country, it's important for everything that you do, because that's the reason God brought Heter Scatter. It all started from the home. No respect, no commitment, no trust. Everybody won't get there to steal. They had to do it in a marriage, they still going outside that stealing. But we can talk all day, but we can't stay here because we're supposed to stay here 1 hour. We're not stay here 1 hour 46 minutes. So we have to tell you about next we'll come back with the same topic, the perception of the family life of man and woman. Got to continue it until we get to a stage where we think that people have digested it. So have a beautiful evening. Have a blessed week. It's a new week. Make sure your week counts. God bless you all. Continue to pray. Continue to make your marriages work. You're watching Spit Talk, the 9th generation, and we are out. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.